The one thing that keeps jumping out to me, and I'm not putting any words in your mouth, I'm saying this, I don't know how the former head coach of the Green Bay Packers appears as though he's in over his head. Like, what I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, and you can speak to this, is when your quarterback and your head coach, or any player and the head coach, can't seem to agree on something as important as what we're talking about here, it usually doesn't end well for the player. Is Johnny big enough where they can say two completely different things about what's going on here and he still lasts? Because I'm afraid that this is the beginning of an unraveling and eventually the end.
I'm with you, Timmy. I said a couple weeks ago that I felt like him going to Montreal could be the worst thing for his career. There was people questioning before that could he even get back to the NFL. But going to the Alouettes and this mess, and as you said, with Sherman, so Johnny got to come in there and essentially change your whole playbook. He was putting in plays from Texas A&M, and heaven forbid when he was in Cleveland, that he liked. So that spoke to me, as you said, that it was Johnny Manziel running the show, not anyone else in Montreal.
So if Manziel doesn't play tomorrow,
Especially when
in
you have
Edmonton,
6 quarterbacks in 9 games.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about one of those 6 quarterbacks. The Alouettes may tomorrow night be starting someone who used to be a right back for Inter Milan. Who is it?
Antonio Pipkin.
Antonio Pipkin. He'll be the 5th starter this. I'm losing track. Forgive me. He's a 5th starter this season for the Alouettes.
5th starter, 6th quarterback.
Their running back, Tyrell Sutton, has lost count, and he admitted it the other day.
That's amazing. All right, so to be continued on the Johnny Manziel. Anything else with Johnny Manziel?
This is a mess, and I don't think that people are treating it as such. It's just such a bright light there because it's Johnny Manziel, and oh my God, can he get back to the NFL? He's on a bad team with a bad offense. Like, how about can he be a starting quarterback in the CFL before he gets back to the NFL?
By Canadian Thanksgiving, is he still in the league?
Well, he'll still be in the league because the Alouettes don't have anywhere else to turn. Yeah. And they gave up so much for him that he better still be on that team unless the GM Kavis Reed is gone. But he'll be there.
Fair enough. All right, so that's the latest out of Montreal, but stay tuned. It's changing by the minute, it seems. Somebody not currently, technically in the Canadian Football League, Duron Carter. Where does he land? And how much noise will he make when he lands there?
That's tough. I mean, first of all, he's shut down his Twitter account, which made a lot of people think, which made a lot of noise.
I'm really
first
disappointed
of all.
to hear that. Actually.
Yeah, man, it was a source of entertainment for a lot of people, and that made a lot of people think that, is that a potential starting point for him to go to the Toronto Argos because Mark Trestman wants his guys to keep everything in-house. The BC Lions have checked in and said essentially thanks but no thanks. The Montreal Alouettes and the mess they're in with no playmakers for some reason are turning down Duron Carter. When they have the Manziel hype, they don't think adding Carter would mix well. I just don't understand that. So you have the Argos who haven't come out publicly and denied it. Mark Trestman said, you know, there's often baggage with some players that we don't really know what's going on. So I think it could be a possibility in Toronto. The Ticats checked in too. They haven't said much after that, but I think it's going to be a little longer for Duron than some people think.
I said in our meeting that, in fact, we're going to come on the air and say that I think the teams could just end up passing on Duron Carter. He was the 8th ranked player, according to TSN, in the entire CFL coming into this season. Is there any chance that that comes to fruition, that everyone just looks and goes, thanks, but not thanks? Because I really think that if Saskatchewan gave up on him, that was a real good spot for him. And that his lack of self-awareness, his polarized, whatever you want to call whatever Duron Carter is, a bunch of football people just go, I don't need that in my locker room. Not in this league.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened with the offensive coordinator, Stephen McAdoo. When he was playing defense, Chris Jones was all right with him. And Carter felt like the vibe was fine. But as you said, Timmy, I feel like that's what the teams have systematically done here, is talk to Duron on the phone, got some background information on what went on behind the scenes, hopefully some real information, and made a judgment that we don't want to bring him into our locker room mid-season. It'd be a different thing in training camp, right? You could try him out, see how he fits, and then let him go. The other point, too, is that he's a veteran. So his salary will be guaranteed, essentially, by any team that picks him up. So are you going to risk that, bringing Carter in?
There's some heat on Chris Jones after this. There were some people in that market who didn't think maybe this should have happened, obviously. Where do the Rough Riders go from here?
Well, they have some young players that they really think can be impactful. Shaq Evans is one, but the team as a whole just really didn't seem to be behind the move, and maybe that was just some of the teammates that were spoken to by the media, but Christian Jones and Naaman Roosevelt, who's their next best receiver, when Duron Carter was shipped out the door, felt he brought a certain energy to the offense and obviously playmaking ability. So when you ship a guy like that out the door, what does that say to the rest of the crew? And there are some people there that already feel like the offense is, dare I say it, but a bit of a dictatorship, and you better behave the way Stephen McAdoo wants you to, or you're going to be gone like Duron.
But don't you just feel like a lot of the ire from what is the greatest fan base in all of Canadian football in the Riders, the ire is just pointed at win football games. And we think this guy can win football games. If you win football games without Duron Carter, they will happily say goodbye to Duron Carter. It's about Chris Jones, it's about this franchise, and it's about winning football games, isn't it?
It totally is. And it's hard to see how letting your best offensive playmaker go on a struggling offense with quarterbacks that have been in and out of the lineup, now Zach Collaros is back healthy, make you a better football team.
I just want to end this segment by saying if anyone is going to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers game tonight, can you buy Sid and I some 50-50 tickets? I don't know if you saw
I'll take 20.
Andrew Harris's Twitter earlier today. 50-50 is starting at 100K. Now, I know 50-50 out west is different than 50-50 out east, where it basically is non-existent, save for opening day at a Jays game. This is going to get rather large in Winnipeg.
Sean Reynolds, if you're going.
Yeah. Your boys, Tim and Sid, are looking for some tickets. You want in on this?
Let's go, Dunk.
I'm down for sure, man.
Let's go. Don't need to do the weight loss challenge after that.
Yeah, we won't need that weight loss challenge. Reynolds, we're in for 20, okay, on that 50-50.
You're flashing all your money Manziels over there.
Reynolds owes me 50 anyway. Money McCallum. Money McCallum.
20s, son, 20s.
Flashing 20s. Justin Dunk, 3 Down Nation. Good job, man. Nice haircut. I like it.
Guys.